This is my ResMed S9 CPAP machine, and it's going on probably 10 years old, and I decided to give it a real good cleaning and replace the motor. I had ordered a replacement motor because I got a motor life exceeded, please contact service provider message. They stopped making these in 2016, and right now it's 2015. So there's every bit of a chance that this is 10 years old. And I've been cleaning it regularly. It works fine. And rather than get a new one, I thought I'd see if I could keep this one going by replacing the motor. I did buy this motor. Put some information on the screen of where I got that, and in the description. Comes well protected in this box. And here's the new motor. Looking online, there are some people that complain that they did not get a new motor, that they got a used one. So be careful if you order a motor that you get that you hopefully order a new motor. So we're going to start out by taking this thing apart. Go on ahead and unplug the power and the hose. We'll get the SD card out of the way. I've never taken a look to see what's on the SD card, but I'm going to take a look at that anyway. I'm going to pop the filter off. Filter's pretty clean, actually. It's got a little bit of dust that's gotten past the filter. Then, of course, we'll separate the halves. Push that button. We'll set that one aside. This half, the water tank half, is fairly easy to clean, and if you have one of these, then hopefully you've been doing that on a pretty regular basis. This one here is the trickier one, so we'll flip this over. So there's one screw on the bottom that we want to remove. That is a T10 Torx. And after we remove that, we pop the cover open. Whoa. That comes off. And we take the knob off. Comes off somewhat easy. And then we got a couple clips here in the front that we push in. That will get this cover off. Oops, something crunched. And we've got two more screws to take out. They look like they're also T10s. And then this motherboard is loose. There is the wire for the motor. It's clipped on right here. We can squeeze this clip underneath and wiggle that off. There you can see the clip that we squeezed to unhook it. And then there's a clip in here. And I don't have a pair of needle nose small enough to get in there. But you can either go at it from here, so there's two plastic clips, and I got it loose here, so you'll see it as I pull it out. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to squeeze these two plastic clips together to get them to release from the plastic housing. So there's a number of ways you can do that. If you got a really small pair of tweezers, would probably be easy to get in there and take that off. So there's the motherboard. And now we're getting right into the motor. The motor's right underneath here. So we're going to take 5 screws out. I believe these are T10s again. Let's roll over that because that's actually one of the sensors. You shake that loose and the foam filters are exposed. I'll turn this over and get the 5 screws out. We're not. And you look at the routing of the wire. It goes underneath these 2 clips right here, and it goes through this slot here. So you want to remember that. And this here is also clipped onto the wires. So we can pick this up. And there's the motor. Got this plastic rubberized silicone ring, whatever that is, that can come off. I don't see any orientation on it. And it really only goes on one way. And we'll peel this off of here. I think that fits in there pretty reasonably one way, because we want the wires to come back here to these notches. So anyway, let's get this out of here. And now we can look at the motor, and this motor doesn't look too dirty. There is some buildup. There is some buildup on the fans right in there. It's like a powder. It doesn't come off very easy. From what I can tell, this motor does not come apart. It looks like it's sealed up. The fan on this side looks really clean. And actually the impeller blades look like they've got some dust built on them. Anyway, let's see if we've got the same thing going here. It looks very similar. The plug looks similar. It's a 3 wires, but it's a 4-way plug. And that looks identical. I'm going to set that one out of the way, and this being our newer one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I don't see a lot of buildup of anything in here. But it looks like these are all air chambers that are actually functional, and there is a buildup of dust in all of these. It's hard to see. You can see a little bit of the dust built up on these foam filters. The foam filters only go in one way. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I've got some alcohol wipes and some alcohol. I'm going to clean up all these interior surfaces to disinfect them and clean the dust off of them. The foam filters, I think I'm just going to give them a little spritz of alcohol and rinse those out really good with water. And same thing when I'm done with cleaning, wiping these all down. I'm going to go ahead and wipe them off with, rinse them off with water. So those are clean. This tray is clean. Okay, that's all cleaned out pretty good. So I'm going to let that evaporate a little bit. Those two tubes will come out here. And then we'll take our all right, so get this motor lined up. There are some notches in the silicone here that line up with these ribs. So you get this thing turned and in the right place. Make sure it's fully seated. And then these wires are going to go through this slot here. Like so. And we're going to go ahead and set that. Let's see, we're going to get this on here. And we've got to get this on there. This doesn't doesn't look like it's got any particular orientation. Get that seated down until these little tabs touch the plastic. Of course, these wires are going to keep falling out. Anyway, let's get this thing set on here. That's resting on there very nice and flat. And then we'll turn this over and set that on there. And we're going to put the 5 screws in. Started. I'm going to tighten up the center one first. The screw's going to bottom out and then it's just done. So don't over tighten it. Tighter is not going to be better. This wire gets routed through there, through a little notch, and through there, and through there. And then we put the motherboard on. plug this in right away. And gently place that in place there. Remember, we've got the two plastic tabs that are over there. That snaps in. You can see this is all down. And then we take two screws. We'll put those in the motherboard. And then we'll put the covers on. This cover goes first, and it starts at this end. There's one clip, two clips. And then we got the two clear plastic clips here. We gotta make sure we get this wire tucked in there behind that clip. Through that slot. Oops, let's get that plastic clip in place there. There. So those two plastic clips are in. It's on all the way around. It looks good. Then we do this cover. Get that snapped in there in the front. And there's a couple clips on each side that will snap in. And that is fully seated, and one screw goes in here. And tight is tight. Put the SD card back in. And I've got a new filter here. That's in. Put the knob on. And it's all back together. Put the power on. Reading SD card. That looks like the main menu. And it's blowing. And my motor life is still exceeded. Please contact service provider, which of course I don't know how to reset that. According to here on the service menu, which is apparently the wrench, run hours is 25,664 hours. So it's all set to go back together. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. Clean the tank out a little bit, wipe the inside of this out, put it all back together, and I'm good to go. Thanks for watching. Give me a like if you care. If you've watched this far, especially if you've watched it this far, let's do that. Thank you.